Good evening, everyone. It is a discussion, never-ending discussion, because cesarean section is such a thing that we have to really face newer and newer problems throughout the life. So, first of all, I am going to present one case for medical legal aspect of broadcasting live workshop. So, this is the Dr. Goro Honda case with AIDS in 2015. Shobha Ram, 62, suffering from liver cirrhosis and liver cancer. The surgery was a laparoscopic liver resection done as part of a live surgical demonstration during the 23rd annual conference of the Indian National Association for Study of the Liver, jointly by AIIMS and Army RR Hospital. The Japanese surgeon Dr. Goro Honda performed the operation, assisted by Indian team led by the Dr. Sujoy Paul, which got complicated because of the excessive bleeding. The Delhi Medical Council took suo motu notice and asked AIIMS to file a report regarding the death. Media accounts referred to the event as a live demo surgery at AIIMS, leading to the patient's death and triggering an ethics debate. No FIR or criminal negligence complaint was filed. The matter stayed at the level of medical regulatory inquiry rather than moving to court. So professional bodies condemned live demos. The incident sparked widespread outrage in the medical fraternity. Surgeon and ethicists argued that live demos compromise patient safety due to performance pressure. They may violate consent if patients are unaware of the broadcast. There is no clear educational necessity that outweigh the risk. Media and ethics debates. Medical commentators in journals like Hindu, BMJ Blocks, Indian Journal of Surgery began calling for strict regulation or prohibition of live surgical workshop. So this is already talked by Dr. Leena. So actually this thing already Dr. Leena has told that ultimately it was said that for the educational purpose it can be hold, and but with all the regulations to be followed which are given by the NMC and the Union of India. So it is the Supreme Court treated the issue as a matter of public importance, issued notice to the government and NMC and called a serious cause. While no final judgment has been delivered yet, the case led the National Medical Commission in July 2025 to issue detailed guidelines restricting live surgical broadcast, requiring ethics clearance, full consent, and a ban on the commercial response. So this was the. So now I am coming to the C-section case laws. So this was a Deepak Kansal versus Union of India, Supreme Court of India. This was the petition. It was a petition PIL, which was filed by the Deepak Kansal, saying that it was alleged that in the absence of clear guidelines or monitoring mechanism, numerous C-section are being conducted for profit motives, thereby compromising patients' autonomy and possibly violating standards of care. So defense said the respondents, including hospital and union of private practitioners, contended that the matter of how C-sections are performed is part of medical practice, which requires detailed clinical evidence, and a blanket PIL asking for judiciary mandated guidelines was not appropriate given the complexity of obstetric care. So outcome was that Supreme Court dismissed the PIL, calling it an abuse of process, and also fined 25,000 on the petitioner and declined to issue general guidelines for C-section conduct, noting that setting medical protocol is primarily the legislature or executive's domain. Significance is, though not centered on one woman's cesarean section, this case is important in the regulatory context of C-sections in India. It shows the reluctance of judiciary to frame broad clinical guidelines via PIM and underlines that oversight of obstetric surgery largely remains within medical regulatory and legislative spheres. So this is another case, the Dr. Joyce Hospital for Women and Children and versus Sebimol. Reported decision judgment record refers to a C-section performed on 2007. Background was the dispute concerned post-operative complication and an alleged deficiency in care following a C-section performed at a women's hospital. The published entry on Indian Qanun records the operative date and discussions, the medical negligence, framework applied by the court, citing established precedents on standard of care. The papers in the file examine the clinical record around the C-section and subsequent management. Allegations were the complainant alleged that the C-section and post-operative care were substandard, surgical labs, poor monitoring, which resulted in harm that could have been avoided with due care. The plea focused on whether the treating team breached accepted professional standards during or after the operation. Defense was the hospital and treating doctors contended that C-section was performed for legitimate clinical indications and the complications arose despite appropriate surgical technique and post-operative monitoring. They relied on contemporaneous notes and medical opinions to justify their conduct. The outcome of this was the published order sets out the court's approach to assessing medical negligence, emphasizing expert evidence, contemporaneous records, and that adverse outcome alone does not prove negligence. The decision is used in later authorities to illustrate how courts treat C-section complications claims. So there was another case in which there was a delay in cesarean section and NCDRC upholds a state commission order, National Consumer Dispute Redressal reported. Background was a consumer complaint alleged that the treating team delayed an indicated C-section, which caused avoidable harm to the mother and newborn. The District State Commission found deficiency in service. The matter reached Appellant Consumer Forum. The public summarizes emphasize the clinical dispute about timeliness of decision to operate. Allegations were complainants argued that because the C-section was not performed at the correct time, the mother and her baby suffered preventable injuries, and that the hospital failed to follow accepted obstetrical protocols for timely intervention. The claim focused on the causal link between delay and injury. Defense said the hospital argued that the clinical picture at the time did not clearly justify an emergency C-section, that and delay was within reasonable clinical judgment, and that complications can occur even if guidelines are followed. They relied on treating records and expert affidavits. So outcome was that NCDRC found deficiency of service in that factual matrix and upheld compensation for the complainant. The appellate and review body did not interfere with the earlier finding. The order reinforces that unnecessary delay in performing an indicated C-section can ground consumer liability where causation is proved. So this is another case. Delhi court summons gynecologist for alleged unnecessary premature C-section in 2018, facts recent reporting. This case was arising from C-section performed roughly 1 month before the expected date of delivery. The mother and baby were said to have been healthy prior to induction. After the operation, the baby suffered severe asphyxia linked to the complaint to a scar rupture and later long-term disability and eventual death. The matter was reported and judicial proceedings followed. The complainant alleges that the doctor negligently calculated the EDD, induced labor without adequate justification, and proceeded to premature C-section, and that these errors directly caused harm to the neonate and later contributed to death. The aggravating allegations is that the operation was avoidable and improperly timed. Defense was the clinician contested the causal pain and medical negligence allegations, pointing to the clinical state during labor and asserting that decisions to induce or operate were made on contemporaneous finding. The ethics committee earlier found no prima facie case, which the defense relied upon in part. So outcome was the criminal court issued summons under relevant IPC provisions to the gynecologist, and the matter has been subject to further investigation. Public summaries show the case remains contested and that courts may proceed to examine medical records and expert evidence before reaching a final conclusion. That was all.